Today we're going to be working on money, and this is something that you probably have had some experience with, and I know your parents have. So as we go through, you might know some things already, but by the end of the video, we want to be able to identify different coins and bills and their amounts. So again, this might be easy for some of you, and that's okay because there's harder things coming. So for today's activity, you'll need a paper and pencil. You're just going to be jotting down some notes about the different coins and bills that we'll be talking about. Pause the video if you need more time. So the first thing I want you to do on your paper is, what do you know about money? Write as much as you know about money, and then when you're done, draw a line. Pause the video and play it when you're done writing. Your teacher also shared a link for Money Madness, and I hope you watched that story beforehand. If not, that's okay. Just leave a space and write Money Madness in that space. And then you're going to write, what did you learn from that? Was there anything new you learned from the book, Money Madness? Go ahead and pause the video and reflect on what you learned, if you did learn something. If you haven't watched the video yet, that's okay too. Just come back to that space when you're done with this video. So today we're going to start talking about coins. And as we talk about them, I want you to write the name of the coin on your paper, and then I'll give you some information about it. So this is the penny, and the penny is copper plated. It used to be all copper, but then in the war they needed more copper, so then they changed up the mix-up of the penny a little bit. And it was designed by Benjamin Franklin, but on the penny is actually Abraham Lincoln. And Abraham Lincoln, this was distributed or issued in 1909. It was actually on his 100th birthday that it was issued. So the back of the penny looks like this, and that is actually the Lincoln Memorial. And if you look really close, you can see Abraham Lincoln right there. If you ever want to visit the Lincoln Memorial, that's actually in Washington, D.C. So a little more information. We have the nickel. And you know what I forgot to mention? Does anyone know how much a penny is worth? If you said 1 cent, you are right. So make sure in your notes that you wrote 1 cent. And it probably would be important to also write Abraham Lincoln by the penny. Now we have the nickel. And on the nickel is Thomas Jefferson. And does anyone know how much a nickel is worth? If you said 5 cents, you've got it. This coin is worth 5 cents. So if you were going to write cents, it would look something like this. It would be a C with a line through it. And I know it's hard to see because it's not showing up on my screen, but a C with a line through it would actually signify cents. Or you could do a dollar sign with a 0.05. That would show 5 cents also. And on the back of the nickel is Jefferson's house, which he designed, and this is called Monticello, which there's a place in Minnesota called Monticello, so that's kind of cool too. Make sure you wrote some notes about the nickel, but most importantly, that it is 5 cents. Now we have the dime. Does anyone know how much the dime is worth? Yes, a dime is worth 10 cents. So on the dime, this is Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And on the back of it, we have a torch with an olive branch and a maple branch, or an oak branch, I'm sorry, on the other side. Here we have a quarter, and a quarter is probably one of the biggest coins that you usually see, and a quarter is worth 25 cents. So you're going to want to make sure you write 25 cents next to a quarter. On the quarter, we have George Washington, and on the back of the quarter, this is actually the presidential coat of arms, which is an eagle with its wings spread out. So it says here $1/4 of a dollar, meaning that their 4 quarters equals $1. So for a quarter, again, you're going to want to make sure that you noted a quarter is 25 cents, and you could write George Washington by it because George Washington is the president on the quarter. Then we have a 50-cent piece, and this one is a little bit trickier. So 50 cents would be half a dollar, so 2 50-cent pieces would equal $1. And on this particular 50-cent piece, it's John F. Kennedy, but there have been many designs throughout the years. So not every 50-cent piece will have John F. Kennedy. There might be other types of 50-cent pieces out there. So a 50-cent piece is worth 50 cents. Here we have the dollar bill. And on the dollar bill is George Washington again. And a dollar bill is worth 100 cents. So this is the back of the dollar bill. And then I also included the $5 bill in here, and this has Abraham Lincoln on it. And on the back of the $5 bill is actually the Lincoln Memorial again that we talked about from the penny. So when we look at this picture, this kind of shows us the size of the different coins. So the 50-cent piece is the biggest, but then it goes the quarter. You'll notice the dime, worth 10 cents, is the smallest out of all of these coins. Then we have the nickel and the penny. And so we have Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, George Washington, and JFK, or John F. Kennedy. Let's review actually quick before we go to the exit quiz. How much is each one of these worth? I want you to see if you can tell me. If you said 1 cent, yes. 5 cents, yes. 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents. Good. So for our exit quiz, we're just going to see how well you know the coins. And if you feel like this exit quiz is a little too hard, that's just fine. Go back and rewatch the video and the book about Money Madness, and then take the exit quiz after that. So on your paper, I want you to number 1 through 6 and make sure your name is at the top. Question number 1. What is worth 1 cent? What coin is worth 1 cent? You can look back at your notes if you took any notes. Pause the video if you need more time. How many cents are in a dollar? Pause the video if you need more time. You can actually do some research too. If the video, you didn't hear that in the video, or if you want to go and do some research online, that's just fine. But how many cents are in a dollar? How much is this nickel worth? So this is the nickel. How much is it worth? Pause the video if ever I'm going too fast. Number 4, how much is this coin worth? I didn't want to tell you what the coin was because the worth or the value of the coin is actually in the name. Hint, hint. Number 5, this coin is worth 10 cents. What's it called? Look back at your notes. And number 6, how many cents is this quarter worth? Great work. Now, here is a fun activity if you have time, and if you want to do this, you can share it with your teacher. But find one of each of these coins and a dollar bill, and then create your own video explaining each one. So this is optional. You don't have to do this, but you're welcome to do this and share that with your teacher. That will help you learn, because teaching helps you learn even more. So if you can teach about these, you'll understand the money even better. When you're all finished, if you didn't do the optional one, that's okay too, but take a picture of your work, questions 1 through 6, and post that to Seesaw, or send it to your teacher in email or on Remind, or you can put your work back in a folder and send it back to school. If you did the optional part and did a video, please make sure to send that to your teacher as well. Have fun counting money!